This has led to some people in the Ethereum community dubbing this update as Ethereum 3.0, even though Justin and other key Ethereum developers insist this isn't appropriate, since this would only be an upgrade to the consensus layer and not the execution layer. But if we're being honest, that name has probably stuck already. We can't tell you how many times we still see post-merge Ethereum being referred to as Ethereum 2.0 to this day in our research. Now, it's not just Ethereum, however, that drew a crowd at DEVCON. Several projects within Ethereum's ecosystem also had a presence at the event, sharing their latest updates with Ethereum enthusiasts. The most notable of these projects were some of those Ethereum Layer 2s that we mentioned a moment ago. For instance, one project at this year's DEVCON was Arbitrum, which announced its Road to DEVCON initiative in the lead-up as part of a strategy to draw in Asian investors. This plan included ArbLink events in Vietnam and Indonesia, which provided opportunities for developers to engage with Arbitrum's technology and network with other builders in the ecosystem. During the main DEVCON event, Arbitrum announced its support for the ERC 7683 standard, which basically facilitates interoperable cross-chain transactions by standardizing the communication between different blockchains and Layer 2 solutions. As a fun fact, ERC 7683 was proposed back in May by both Uniswap Labs and Across as a way to introduce cross-chain transactions. And speaking of Uniswap Labs, another project that was present at this year's DEVCON was Unichain, which, as the name suggests, is being developed by the Uniswap team. Despite this blockchain still being in development, the recent surge in interest in the Ethereum ecosystem resulted in Unichain garnering a lot of attention from attendees and making it a highlight of this year's DEVCON. And, by the way, when we say that Unichain is still in development, we mean it hasn't even made it onto testnet yet. According to the team, a bridge hasn't been built, and certain developer access is currently unavailable because it's just not ready yet. But regardless, this hasn't stopped it from already drawing attention, so much so that Circle has already announced that USDC will be supported on Unichain once its mainnet finally goes live. Definitely one to keep an eye on then. Meanwhile, another project with a presence at DEVCON was Base, which, as you'll all know, is the Layer 2 solution built by Coinbase, which arguably needs no introduction. During the event, Coinbase launched several initiatives to support the on-chain payments sector, the most notable of these being the announcement of a tap-to-pay crypto payment solution. Presumably, this means you could do crazy things like using bonk tokens to pay for your Starbucks latte, for example. However, it'll more likely be stablecoins that are used for payments, probably USDC, given the partnership that Coinbase has with Circle, which issues USDC. And this relates to another announcement made by Coinbase, its acquisition of Utopia Labs, which focuses on stablecoins and payments. And as a side note, it looks as though some projects felt the competitive pressure of DEVCON. Around the same time, we also got announcements from major crypto projects outside of the Ethereum ecosystem, including Binance's BNB, Near Protocol, Filecoin, and more. But of course, these are a little outside the scope of today's video. Now, as we mentioned earlier, DEVCON took place over the course of 4 days, so as you can imagine, the list of highlights is too long to cover in full here. But there are a few standouts that deserve honourable mentions. The first of these was the announcement of the Argo Collective, a new non-profit organisation made up of 25 Ethereum Foundation team members. The Argo Collective is tasked with the responsibility of maintaining Ethereum's core infrastructure,